It's Bellew from Misfits Boxing and Design. I'm here joined by one of the best legends in the sport of boxing, Tony Bellew. How you doing, sir?
I'm okay, thank you very much.
How are you finding the whole atmosphere? Obviously here in Misfits Boxing, since your first event?
Yeah, no, it's not my first Misfits event. I've been and seen a couple of times now. Listen, it's entertainment. I think it's fantastic what you guys are doing. And I credit you what JJ's created here, KSI, is genuine entertainment. Look at how many people are here. I attend some boxing events and it doesn't even have a quarter of this in there. So I just give them all the credit in the world. It's very well supervised. No one's really being hurt. You know, it's entertainment.
I saw you have a little moment there with Hamid as well. What are you making of his son's performance at the moment?
Sammy was really good. Sammy was calm, composed. Listen, you've got to remember, this is Sammy's first time under the lights on the big stage. And that's nerve-wracking. Regardless of the opponent, he's still got to overcome them nerves. He's still got to get in there and let his hands go. And he did tonight. He showed some of the things he's obviously been working on. But tougher tests are going to come, obviously, there's no doubt about that. But for Sammy Hamed, this is the start of things to come. And the way he cut with the pressure, under the lights, it can all be well and good in the gym. But when the lights come on and you're in that ring, it's just you and him, thousands of people watching, the pressure can be immense, and he dealt with that well tonight.
Misfits is starting to transition into that pro boxing scene. Obviously, you being from the pro boxing world, what's your advice to get into pro boxing?
Say that again, sorry.
So Misfits is starting to get into the pro boxing scene. We're signing more pro fighters. What's your advice to Misfits for the pro boxing scene?
Well, listen, you're going to have two decent professionals tonight. You've got Ty Mitchell, a sparring partner of mine for some of my biggest fights I ever had. He was my chief sparring partner for Alexander Usyk. So he's a brilliant fighter. Ty Mitchell, I believe, will be a world champion one day with one of the big organising full-body belts. Tonight you've got Darren Till on tonight. I think Darren Till will be a good fighter going forward. Under the tutelage of Joe McNally and Declan O'Rourke at the famous Rotunda ABC, he can't go wrong. So you've got some of the best young trainers in the world here tonight. You've got Jamie Moore and Nigel Travers. You've got Joseph McNally and Declan O'Rourke. These are two of the best young trainers in the world, you know, and these are taking part. Their guys are on tonight, so don't rule this out. It's only a matter of time to one of these guys on this platform win a world title, in my opinion.
We're talking about world titles. The other week, you were there for the Jake Paul Mike Tyson event, and you had some words to say. Can you talk me through what really happened there?
I didn't actually go to the event. I would never have attended an event with a hero and an icon, a man like Mike Tyson actually fighting, but I turned up at the press conference here and let my feelings be known. He was fighting a man who's a grandfather, a man who, you know, who's seen better, is close to, you know, 60 years of age. So I let it be known what I thought of it and stuff like that. But it was all done in jest. It was all a little bit of fun. And Paddy Power and myself, we had a laugh. So listen, Norman's still ready. He's still going.
I definitely had a bit of a laugh there. I thought it was fantastic what you guys did. And, you know, what is your thoughts on what Jake Paul is doing for the team right now?
It's worrying. Listen, Jake Paul can actually have a fight. He's not as bad as people are making out. He's strong, he's heavy-handed, he's game. I just don't know why he's picking on grandfathers. And now I think they're targeting Roy Jones Jr. I mean, just fight an active fighter. Well, it doesn't even have to be an active fighter. Just fight someone in 30s or 40s anyway, but just leave the granddads alone. I mean, Mike Tyson's an icon, a hero of our sport, and for that to be on Mike Tyson's professional record is an absolute disgrace. I was really annoyed at it. If that was going to be about, like, not just like some kind of combat contest, I can have that, but I'm going to read in years to come Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Michael Spinks, Larry Holmes, Jake Paul, and that's a disgrace and a disservice to boxing. So I just wanted to stop going down using that narrative in that frame. Just fight, you know, guys who are young and ready to fight and go from there. So I just don't think he needs to be attacking the granddads. I understand and get it from a business perspective and from a spectacle. Then maybe, yeah, I get it, but think about the man's legacy, think about what you're doing. One thing I will say for Jake Paul is he let Mike off the leash in that last round. The poor fella was there for the taking. And listen, I don't say that lightly because Mike Tyson's my hero. Mike Tyson is the street kid's hero. When I was growing up, boxing's all I knew, it's all I know. Mike's our God, Mike's our king. So Mike Mike to us is what Messi is to the kids today. Mike to us is what Michael Jordan was to the basketballs in the 90s. That's what Mike is to us. The boxers that have come from the street, Mike's our hero. So I made sure when I got up there that day, I didn't disrespect Mike in any way. It was just about giving Jake Paul a little bit of stick, but all that ends well, all that ends well works well.
You're critiquing what Jake Paul's doing. What would you like to see him do? What would you like to see Jake Paul and KSI and all these bigger names do?
I mean, would there be a better fight than Jake Paul and KSI?
I don't think there is. I think that's the best fight to make.
I think it's a perfect fight for both guys to take. I don't know why they're not. I'm sure KSI wants to do it, but I just don't see why not. So, I just think it's a brilliant fight to make.
What's your prediction on that fight if you were to put one on?
Do you know what it comes down to? Jake Paul might probably have that little bit more boxing experience, but I think as an actual natural athlete, JJ's the better athlete. I think JJ KSI is a kid with so much natural athletic ability. As long as he's coached in the right way, he could do something. I just think it's about getting the fundamentals down to the ground and doing something properly. But I like JJ, man. He's a cool kid. And speaking to him a couple of times that I have now, the one thing that he's got in common with proper fights and world champions is it's his work ethic. It's his dedication, his time to work hard. So I'm impressed with him. I'm impressed with this whole setup. Look at it. There'll be 10,000 people in here. It's unbelievable. It really is. So I just can't take your hat off to them. I see a lot of people knocking them and giving them stick, but I would never do that. Listen, you've got the Hameds here. Nassim Ahmed is one of the great fighters, if not one of the best English fighters of all time. An unbelievable fighter. Everyone's here. It's not a coincidence why everyone's here. Everybody is here because this is an event. I'm here to support Darren. I'm here to support Ty Mitchell. I'm here to support Sami Ahmed. All guys who have shown me support when I was fighting. So, you return the favour. But ultimately, I know Calais, I know Nisa, I know JJ a little bit, KSI. So, all these guys show some support to each other, man. All we can help do is grow each other's brand and whatever and platforms. Give a little bit of time and give people recognition for what they deserve. This hasn't started. From where this started to where it is now, it's grown massively, and you've got to give them credit and take your hat off to them. Well done.
Absolutely. Now, I only got a couple more questions, then I'll let you enjoy the show. You mentioned JJ needs to improve on the fundamentals, and he has a lot of building blocks to work with. Could you possibly ever get involved in his training if he had a big fight coming up?
I don't know. Do you know what, mate? I've got 4 kids. I'm busy, and I'm inundated. But listen, of course you can always help people, but you don't understand. The sport I was involved in, it ain't a sport, it ain't a hobby, it's a way of life. And if I was ever going to work with someone, which I've never done so far, I've been asked on numerous occasions with professional fighters, would you work with, would you train me? I want more than you can give me, if that makes sense. Like what I gave to boxing, I've never seen anyone give what I give, because I weren't very good, I weren't the best at what I done.
I don't know, I wouldn't say you are very, very good. Very modest.
But I gave it everything I had. I couldn't have squeezed any more out of me than I did. I got the maximum out of what I actually had. I've got to thank Dave Caldwell massively, because without Dave Caldwell, I wouldn't have got over the line with that world title. But my levels of sacrifice and dedication were insane. Like, I walk to a ring and I'm willing to die to win. Simple as that. If I'm going to work with someone, I expect that kind of mentality. So, I'm not saying I want to or don't want to, but if I can help guys in any way, I always will, of course I will, but it's a way of life, man. This isn't a sport, this isn't a hobby, this isn't a pastime, this is a way. If you're going to do it and do it properly, it's a way of life.
Now, my last question to you, tonight was meant to be Tommy Fury's night. He dropped out. Now, Tyson Fury's just announced his retirement. What's your reaction to what the Furies are doing right now?
Tommy's cracking on, man. Tommy's alright, I know Tommy's alright, he's a good kid. We spent a bit of time together on Soccer Aid. I like him, nice boy. He is a young boy though, and he's a young boy up here as well. So he's cost himself a lot of money tonight, but does he need the money? Is he bothered about the money? I don't know. I'm sure he's probably bothered more about his reputation and what it's done to that, and it's not a good look. Why he pulled out and the reason that he stated, let's all be honest, Darren Till was never going to kick him in the head. That's ridiculous. That's just Darren hyping a fight. That's just Darren being Darren. And as for Tyson, Tyson's a legend of the sport. Tyson's one of the greatest fighters to ever come out of this country, period. And no one can knock that. It doesn't matter what my opinion is on who do I think he beat when he beat them. It doesn't detract from how great a fighter that he is and was. This guy has pushed Alexander Usyk the harder than anyone else has. He's ran him to really close decisions, but there's no shame in losing to him. I speak from fucking first-hand experience, sorry to swear. But it is what it is, champ. You know, I wish him well. He's got a lovely family, he's got a lovely wife. Fight boxing's not everything. It feels like it when you're in it, but when you walk away and take a little step back, you soon realise it's not everything. There is more to life than getting punched in the face, and there is more to life after boxing. So I wish him well. He's got a lovely family, enjoy them, and I wish him well, lad. He's a good fella.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time. Have an amazing night. Thank you.